Welcome back, everyone, to Pillars of Eternity. We are paused. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, so one of these crypts belongs to this family. The Valtis Mausoleum. Oh, there we go. Thank you for making it easy for me. Please just give it a convenient label. I have stolen the key, and I'll just help myself right in. It's no problem, really. It's fine. Oh, and I leveled up. Oh good, Sayada's still alive. I was afraid that she wasn't. What do we got? Athletics, please. That flail seems nice, but I don't want to go too deep into it, you know? Can I get a sword and shield style? Might already have that. Yeah, I'll just take the one-handed style, because he's a shield boy. Look at him. He's got his shield. He's happy.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Yoink. Sorry, Sayada, I'm stealing all your family's money. I deserve this. Another weird figurine. Yo, what's up? A little girl cowers in the back of the tomb. Her face is streaked with dirt, and even in the shadows, you can tell she's far too thin. She watches you, holding her breath. It's all right. You're safe now. You have to be quiet. Noise brings the hungry people. Auroch's shadow looks like she's been on her own for weeks. My name is Sayada. Are you hiding from them too? You're Sayada? I came across some Darguls in a house. You saw mother and father and Emilo? How did you get away? I killed them. I had no choice. Who are the hungry people? The ones outside. They don't sleep or die, but they still eat. What happened to you? You're frightened. You've been stuck in here for too long, but try to remember what happened. There was a big noise and a light in the sky. Everyone thought it was a storm, but then people started waking up. After they died, Mother and father and Emilio boarded up the door, but the hungry people found our house. They fought, but the hungry people always get up again. They broke down the door, and Mother told me to hide. And then I came here to hide, but the door got stuck, and I didn't know when I would be safe outside. Where's the rest of your family? You need to get out of here. Is it safe? Are the hungry people out there? It's still dangerous, but the path to the main gate should be clear. Make a run for it. And then the Justiciars will be able to handle it from there. It should be fine. Still as Stones has been added. The quest expires in 3 days. Ophelio farmers in Ixa Middle Plains discovered a large and elaborate ring of small Audra pillars in a secluded southern valley. Though presumed to be connected to the Engwithans in some way, the pillars do not appear to be connected to any ruins. However, since the site was discovered, farmers from up to 50 miles away have gone missing, eventually discovered days or weeks later in the Ring of Stones, permanently petrified. As the Apahuilo have little experience with Audra pillars, they're calling upon Reassurings, Deerwoodens, and Glenfathans for help. Well, shit, that sounds bad. L off. Handle it. That is, if I can even get there in time. Oop. It's quite far.
Hi?
Boys, if you would be so kind
All
as
right,
to
then.
put my ass back in my ass, I'd be much obliged. Ooh, blood moss. Kerogolan. Okay. Funky stuff. Another house. Probably more dead people. What can I say? It seems to be what's going on here. Ikanta. Yonk. A woman bends over a roaring fireplace, feeding a splintered chair leg into it. As you get closer, you notice something unusual about her. A certain pallor to her skin, a lack of movement beneath her flesh, even while her arms execute deft, efficient movements. Then you see the puckered flesh, ragged and bloodless over her heart. This one thirsts for kith blood.
It's rude to stare, you know. Don't worry. I've no mind to start anything with you. After all, I've stayed in such good shape by choosing my meals carefully.
I saw you in a vision. There's something you need to do for me.
Believe me, I've heard that line before.
Who are you?
A survivor, by the grace of my own careful preparations. When I heard the claws scrabbling at the door outside, I took care of matters myself. And since then, I've been careful to keep myself fresh and fed.
Do you know what happened here?
An incredible act of animancy, of a magnitude this part of the world likely hasn't seen since Engwithan times. Someone found something very powerful and ancient, and I'd bet my own preserved life it wasn't Aldhelm or his lovely assistant.
I still don't understand why this district is full of walking corpses. Because someone found a way to tether their souls to their bodies, don't you see? So when the heart stops beating, when the blood stops flowing, their bodies are still animate, and with a newfound hunger. Those that can feed it with living flesh and essence stay strong and sharp. Those that can't, degenerate quickly. Aldhelm. His name barely merits repeating. He's a charlatan who liked to dig up pretty artifacts and called himself a scholar. The pity with animancy these days is that just about anyone can claim to be an expert. I truly doubt that. I should get going. Okay.
Not sure how I feel about this. It's no trouble. Hope that helps.
Oh boy! What happened to you? Every week, one of those monsters who serves her comes in and takes one of us away. I don't know what she's doing, but sometimes we can hear the screams.
You return. What if you come seeking this time?
I came across a group of people in the back room. I hope you didn't disturb them. Rounding them up was quite a chore. Weird. Okay, she does not seem at all concerned with what happened. Although if she is the agent that we saw in the leaden key vision, then that would explain her tenacity towards persistence. She still has a job to do. There is no doubt in my mind that she would surrender her life to complete the mission, and it seems apparent to me that she already has. I'm pretty sure that when the glow happened, in order to prevent attracting the attention of the undead, she killed herself to join them, and then gathered up groundskeepers to keep herself fresh so that she could remain conscious long enough to deliver a report. Ow! Bounding missile. Skeletal wizard is kicking my ass. Get dunked.
My bow's ready.
I heard a level up. Who is it? Who danged? Boop. Huh. More lore than I would expect. Interdiction. Ooh. Aggrandizing radiance. Nah. I like the healing from that. Sorry, I saw Spirit of Decay and was like, what? Oh, considering how much damage you take Wound Binding. It'll keep you in the fight longer.
Yes?
Beautiful.
Of course.
Interesting. The skeletal wizard seems to be able to use magic without the assistance of a grimoire. Which does not surprise me over much. The massive stone door of the tower is sealed, and there doesn't appear to be any way to open it. Speak the words you learned from the leaden key acolyte. Continue. Stop! Continue! Oh man, that sweet congestion ASMR. Oh boy.
That's it!
Oh, is it just me, or is everything in this fight moving awfully fast? Not that I mind.
Of course.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea.
Uh-oh.
Which
Wait,
is
we have letters.
not very quiet.
Day 7. A week of study, and we're still none the wiser about this device. Trindig remains optimistic. I don't know what I'd do without his spirit. Mr. Gregg likes to get an early start. Whoever slept here last made it neatly.
You're not getting to me.
I'm here. After an...
God damn.
All right then.
Ooh, potion of power.
That's it!
I'm about to say, don't let him cast that spell. I know that one. It's the one I use, the one that kills everybody.
All right then.
Okay, so some of the beds have been used and others haven't been touched for weeks. Weird. Not like super weird, but kind of weird. I think it's meant to represent just how small the project was. As in, there used to be a lot of people working here, and now there's only like one or two.
And what does the flame reveal?
Leave it to me.
Margaret's fire casts light in dark places.
Open fire!
Quietly now.
Holy shit, they saw me. They saw me fast. Come on! Get him. Got him. Good boy.
All right then.
Day 11. Got out of the towers to clear our heads. Beast take the patrons. We'll study this on our own terms, our own time. Trindig, this guy came to life with stray lighting. I said it's a good omen, but the poor lad's spooked. Only a cure for that's a good night's sleep. Okay, so yeah, these two guys are getting the machine working. I mean, we already knew that because we talked to What's-Her-Face, but yeah. But so they've got these patrons. So they're not doing this pro bono. They're not doing this themselves. Letter from Ikantha. I'd been waiting for you to present yourself on my doorstep so that I could give you an answer in person. A firm and unwavering no. I won't help you. In fact, I relish the idea of you and your team of glorified engineers sitting in that tower, sweating over the runes I've studied for years. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than knowing that my research, which you've long disparaged, is the missing piece of your mundane little puzzle. As you well know, it's knowledge I've always valued. I'm just around the corner. I encourage you to find me should you wish to rehash this conversation in person. Beautiful. Okay. So, no, she wasn't the agent. She had been studying this tower for a long time and figured a lot out, and then she got fired, and they hired Althelm instead.
This configuration. Still nothing. Confounded device.
A man hunches over the strange mechanisms, his spine a sharp ridge rising from his arched back. He's barely clothed in filthy rags, and the patches of skin you see are mottled green. A spoiled stench emanates from him. He's so intent on his work that he doesn't notice you until your shadow falls over him. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles back behind the Atra pedestal. Only his bared teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
What happened?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Forgive me. Forgive me. Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now.
If I had a copper skite for every fool animancer whose thirst for knowledge led to disaster, well, I'd never have ended up in Gilded Vale, that's for certain. Keep talking, Althelm.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask. Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning, we felt strange. Like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight.
Okay, so they got the tower working, and then Theos killed them all in their sleep, and when they woke up, they were zombies.
And the machine. This cursed spire. Dormant for 2,000 years. Lifeless through hundreds of our experiments. And we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start?
Okay, never mind. He turned it on and killed them all. As exciting as the prospect of a living machine may be, I suspect that given mention of a machine and masked figure both, there is another explanation.
Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
What does the machine have to do with souls?
No time to slow down. But I can explain. Hold a magnet over iron splinters and they stick, yes? Rub your hand over weir wool and the hair of your head will follow it. So it is with this machine.
Okay, so it's a soul magnet.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglanfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
How can I help?
Not your help I need. It's Harridan, shrew. Squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes. The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Acantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
Wait, runes? Engwithan runes? She can read them? He speaks of this feat so blandly. Let's instead talk to this Harridan, Drexet. I'd pick her thoughts for a time. There was a stranger in the tower.
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
You're not like the other ghouls.
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply.
Okay, so the mind is not necessarily the spirit, and as the brain slowly rots, the higher functions fail, and lower functions like hunger and instinct take over.
I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I'd do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster. You could help. Help. By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed.
Okay.
Yes. Acantha. She was here, in the district. Probably here still, always prepared. Clever lady, that one. And perhaps you'll bring me something. Something to keep me sharp. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong.
This is an animancer in his natural state, Watcher. Never has he respected the sanctity of the god's creation. Only now he no longer has the cunning to hide it. He should be put down like a sick animal, although not without first putting his spirit to the flames test. Okay, it looks like he wants me to bring him a living being, and oops, I already got all the living people out of Heritage Hill. I can't do it, sorry, but I would if I could, but I